Welcome back, everybody. Tyler Parsons here again, giving you a golf performance tip. Today is 4 exercises you really need to be doing. It's going to work on our mobility, it's going to work on our flexibility, our sequencing, and our overall power. Go on, dive into that warm-up, and let's get you started. All right, so the biggest problem that I see with a lot of you is that you lack the mobility, you lack the stability, therefore that's sequencing off, and we never really truly hit that power. So what I'm going to do is break this down into 4 simple little things that you can do basically anywhere. It takes very little time that is going to help out a ton. Number 1, we're going to be looking at a leg over. Now with that leg over, we're laying onto our back, the arms are out to the side, and what we're looking to do is lift that leg straight up in the air so that we're hitting that hamstring. We're lowering it down across the body, trying to get it as high as we can, stretching out the hip, engaging that midsection, not only working the mobility, but helping with that stabilization. You can see that we're raising it up, and I'm alternating side to side with this, and that's going to be huge, again, to help with those hips, to get them more mobile so that we can start with that sequencing of allowing the hips to move while that upper body stays nice and still and stable. Piece number 2 for you is obviously going to be that midsection. Now there's a couple of ways that we need to be working this. One is with the mobility to make sure that we can rotate properly, and 2 is making sure that we can separate each piece. We've already looked at the hips, but that upper body needs to be able to stabilize, turn, and do its part as well. So for this exercise, I've got a nice simple medicine ball. I'm really working on holding those hips still and stabilizing while that upper goes on and rotates around. Really make sure, again, it's all about the stabilization of the hips and that we're turning as much as you can. Piece number 3, probably the most important, but we can't accomplish that again without doing the other 2. Oldie but goodie, one that you've seen on probably a lot of my videos, a nice simple discus turn. The reason I love this exercise is that we have to drive with the lower body. We have to separate and allow the hips to go first. It's creating that whip effect. It's dragging that chest through. It's dragging the hands through. And it's an explosive movement that both works on acceleration plus deceleration. You're also going to take note that I'm doing this left-handed as well. I want the separation and for the sequencing to be as good as I can on the opposite side to help even out that body, but it's not usually going to be. Do your best, go through and do as many as we need. Around that 8 to 10 is a good rep range. Really hammer out and work on getting them to fire, stabilize, separate, and that explosive power in through there. Piece number 4 is basically an added benefit to help you use that ground a little better, learn how to explode, use the different segments throughout the body to achieve that power. It's another exercise that I've used quite often if you've been following along throughout the years. We're basically doing that keg throw. You're down, we're loading, you're exploding up through the legs, we're going through the extension, we're firing in through the hips, stabilizing that midsection, pulling with the arms, and throwing as high as we can. There's a lot going on, but it happens like that. Use a somewhat heavy medicine ball, obviously whatever you can tolerate. As you go down, I want you to really take note that we don't want this back to get rounded. It's nice and straight. We're down, extending, launching it up. Make sure that you don't hit yourself as you're throwing it up. You get out of the way as it comes down. Don't hurt yourself with the movement, but learn to fire off that ground into that jumping motion. Produce as much power as we can. That way when we set up in that golf swing, we can go through, push, drive, explode as we're rotating. Put all of that energy into the club head so it's delivered to the ball, hitting some monster drives. As always, check back often, have more content to come. Check out parsonsgolfperformance.com and see how I can help you improve your golf fitness and improve those scores.